Hey guys, my name's Ross O'Dwyer, CEO and co-founder of Locker. At Locker, we centralize sport all in one place. And it's really our team that's experts at that. When I graduated college, I actually built and scaled Ireland's largest digital sports media company, built and sold that and various other ventures. Our CTO, Wayne actually is the CTO and co-founder of Jock Market, which essentially made sports players into actual stocks and trading items. And Brian Quinn, our COO, would have ran about $100 million in PPV and recurring revenue at Setanta Sports in Ireland and the UK. But it's really as fans that we came at this problem. Because when you look at sport today, it's totally fragmented from a consumption perspective. If you look at fans, they go to different publisher websites, different sports apps, different social platforms where they got a ton of noise on it. Then they got league apps, they got team apps, and they do on this journey multiple times a day. I'm sure everyone in this audience has done it. The challenge with that is that if you look at other industries, say like music, or say like travel, that problem's totally solved. And in the one thing that everybody loves, probably more than anything in the world, sport, it's not. So we call this fan DNA. So you cannot actually get an understanding of who someone is actually as a fan. Like when you look at the data panel Alex just did, let's revert that on fans. So you might have someone, let's say, from Miami, so they're a big Dolphins fan, but they went to college in London, so they follow Manchester United. They've got a Paddy Power account and they bet with Paddy Power. So it's impossible to actually understand that. Our solution was simple, and that's why we founded Locker. So when you join Locker, you just tell us the different sports that you love, different teams, different leagues, and lastly, you can tell us the different athletes. On top of that, which is totally optional, you can actually tell us the content creators that you love and follow and you want to have indexed within the app. What that results in is it puts all your sport in one place, split by sports, split by teams, split by leagues, from the content creators that you love and trust. When it comes to Locker, after spending so many years in broadcasting and publishing, the one rule at Locker is we're a technology company. So we don't produce any content in any capacity whatsoever. I got asked by an investor the other day, he said, what's your real OpEx on content? I said, it's literally zero. I'll send you my management accounts. So when you look at actually our tech, we integrate the best providers of content in the world. So you've got written content, fans can read. You've got stats and scores. You've got audio. You've got video, say ESPN 30 for 30. You've got live sport. And then lastly, but not least, you've got betting, right? And like I'm on an American Accelerator right now, and when you pitch betting to Americans, it's a big hook. So bear in mind this deck is kind of built for that. Hat tip to Stady Alex. So this is what Locker Bet looks like. It's the first of its kind. So when you join Locker Bet, you can sign into the sports books that you've already got an account with, and from that point, they're completely integrated within the Locker app. So you can get bets off suggested, of what you're following, what different teams, what different sports you're following. And also you can get trending bets off your geographic location, what's happening around you, what's happening in those sports, what's happening in those teams. On top of that, then you can get in-app comparison across all the different books, and you can place the bet all without leaving the app, which is the absolute key point to it. Oddschecker Media actually is a key partner of ours and actually part of that technology. You can also share that bet with friends. You can share content with friends in what we call locker rooms. And then on top of that, there's various other items where when you're in the Locker app, then everything is bet eyes, so to speak, for you. So you can get a suggested bet. If you read a piece of content on Rory winning the Masters, you might think the odds are too high, you can dismiss them. And then alongside that, you kind of got fun features, which we call stumble, swipe left, swipe right. I would say for someone that's not price sensitive within that. Our business model is super simple. On the bet side and on the marketplace side. On the bet side, we're actually not interested at all in getting people new customers. If I see another pitch deck with CPA in it, I'll close it. What we do is we specialize in actually increasing the book's current customers. More bets per different sports, more bets on different days, and the amount of handle and increasing the number of handle. So when someone signs into Locker Book, whether about FanDuel or Paddy Power, Betfair, they're all Flutter brands, Bet365, you name it, we actually look at their data, what they're consuming on the content side, and then our bet suggestion engine then takes over. So we actually increase those 3 KPIs for those books. On the marketplace side, we integrate premium content. We integrate video, so you can buy live rights, you can buy live halftime, you can buy live in segment. Dapper Labs just joined our investment round, so when Dapper come in, let's say LeBron hits the game-winning shot in the All-Star game, you can actually get notified when that NFT gets minted. Last two are pretty interesting, ticketing and merchandise. This is actually brought to us by a Major League Baseball team, and they said that they want to create their own profile on Locker. We were a bit dumbfounded. We didn't know what to call it. So they were like, hey, can we create a teams profile? So we're like, okay, we'll call it Locker Teams. So what they're doing is they want to transfer their audience into Locker and use Locker as a segment understanding in terms of their data, what's the sentiment on that team, and also use it to target and resell fans. We also use Web3 within the product. So let's say if you invite friends to Locker, join a sports book, all the items that you typically, we reward you with that, and you can actually use it within the platform. Here's a good example of Mark McLaughlin sharing Locker into a WhatsApp group, and then we transfer that audience over. Our competition, I wrapped this up pretty quick. People always say to me, Bleacher Report and The Score, two super publishers, but they're publishers. Publishers, and I say this by having been one, we're totally selfish. That means we put ourselves above anyone else when it comes to, if you use any of those apps, they're not truly agnostic platforms. And that's the challenge on the other side when you use, let's say, a Flipboard or a Feedly, they're not sports specific. So the gap we saw in the market was if we built an agnostic technology platform that just focused on sport, that there was a gap there for us in Locker. We obviously get a ton of data on fans. So we understand fans, I would say, better than any other platform in the world in terms of sport. How that overlayers and it touches on some of the things Alex said, like I said, inverted. Story so far, we won a prize with Google for best use of language, natural language word processing, did Techstars, did SportsRadar, and actually we're taking part in the Stadia Ventures program in the States. And our roadmap, for anyone that's from the UK or Ireland, we've got the apps released in both stores so you can download it. We're about to actually beat the roadmap. I can't believe I'm going to say that, but we are about to launch Locker Bet at the end of this year, which is really exciting. And we're pretty proud of our DAU usage over MAU as well. So that's it. I actually do not have space in the round. We actually filled this round up at 1.5 million. We have a hard cap at 2, so we have a little bit of space left. But really that is to accelerate some key areas for the business. So guys, thanks.